With Clash at the Castle on the horizon, what will this edition of Monday Night Raw do to get us prepared? We will find out. This is AM Talks WWE. Let's talk Monday Night Raw. Let's start with the matches on the show. In the first match, Ludwig Kaiser wins against Sheamus. In the second match, Finn Balor wins against Dragon Lee. In the third match, Braun Breaker wins against Ricochet. In the fourth match, Kiana James wins against Natalya. In the fifth match, Braun Strowman wins against Carlito. In the sixth match, Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill win against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark via DQ when Alba Fire and Isla Dawn interfered. In the seventh match, AOP wins against New Day. In the main event, the World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest wins against Rey Mysterio. Let's talk about some of the notable moments on the show. Here is Women's World Champion Liv Morgan to get things going. She welcomes us to the Revenge Tour and brags about injuring Rhea Ripley and sending Becky Lynch into early retirement. But she says kissing Dominik was the best part. Then we see Dominik, with the fans not letting him say anything. Dominik finally gets to the point and says Rhea Ripley is going to end her. Liv offers to make it worth his while because Dominik knows he's been out here to get closer to her. She makes her way closer to him, but here is Finn Balor to say this is enough and to throw her out. Morgan says, what if Dominik doesn't want her to leave? And then just passes by Dominik's hair. Again, Dominik doesn't really have to say no, but the pop when Rhea Ripley returns is going to be off the charts. After the Balor and Lee match, the beatdown is on again, but Rey Mysterio and Braun Strowman are there to scare them off. Post-break, Damian Priest isn't happy with the Braun Strowman problem not being solved. Carlito can go get a match made and deal with that tonight. The team leaves, and R-Truth is here to say he knows how it is with the Judgment Day. Being in the group was tough, but it was the best time of his life. Miz arrives and says they're the reigning World Tag Team Champions, but that was the best time of Truth's life? Truth says Miz is obsessed with the Judgment Day, and it's starting to get weird. Miz's stunned face is pretty funny. Here is Sami Zayn for a chat. The last time he was in Pennsylvania, he won the Intercontinental title, but he hasn't been able to enjoy it because of Chad Gable. Zayn wants Gable to make his way out here, one-on-one, to settle this. Then we see the rest of the Alpha Academy with Maxine Dupree reading a message from Gable. The message insults the Academy and issues a challenge to Zayn, who accepts for the title match at Clash at the Castle. With that being taken care of, Zayn brings up everything Gable has been putting him through in the recent weeks. The team is better than that, but he's been there, and he knows they need to set themselves free. Then we see Chad Gable jumping Sami Zayn, and the beating is on, with Otis not looking happy. Chad Gable holds Zayn up and tells Otis to hit him, but Otis won't do it. Instead, Gable hits him in the face and yells a lot until Akira Tozawa breaks it up. Then we see Maxine Dupree interfere, and Chad Gable tells her to get down and beg. Gable tells Tozawa and Dupree to leave, but Otis is there between Gable and him. Zayn is back up to go after Gable, but knocks him down into Dupree and Tozawa for a crash landing onto the floor. Otis lays Zayn out and carries the other two members to the backstage area. They have something with the eventual Otis turn, and the place is going to go crazy when it happens. Also, this would seem to address Chad Gable's contract status, at least in the short term. Braun Breaker and Adam Pearce are watching in the backstage area, with Breaker saying he would break Sami Zayn in half. Breakker is happy to have worthy competition tonight, but Pierce says Ricochet requested the match. That's fine with Breakker, who gets to be unleashed. Backstage, we see Chad Gable praising the Alpha Academy, but Tozawa and Dupree say they're really hurt. Otis is still the #1 guy to Chad Gable, but he doesn't seem too happy about it. The New Day isn't worried about Karrion Kross trying to split them up. Kross arrives to say the power of positivity is dead, but Kofi Kingston promises to get them back. Now with Kofi gone, Karrion Kross says Woods won't have to follow Kofi after tonight. Backstage, Natalya is annoyed and runs into Sonya Deville. She is asking if she wants to talk. She does indeed, as Natalya says it's time for a change. Hold on though, as Deville goes to talk to Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, who still want nothing to do with her. Natalya and Deville could be seen talking in the background earlier tonight, so this isn't out of nowhere. Also backstage, Lyra Valkyria was attacked by Io Sky. Here is Jey Uso, who arrives through the crowd. Yeet! And then stops to talk there. Last year was the Bloodline Civil War, and that took a lot out of him, but that taught him he could fight on his own, and now he's main event Jey Uso. For now though, he wants to thank everyone who yeeted with him on this journey. Jey Uso gives a young fan his sunglasses, but says it's time for him to deliver something to the fans, like say winning the Money in the Bank. This felt rather different and showed us Uso's future plans. After the main event, Drew McIntyre runs into ambush Priest, but Finn Balor cuts off the Claymore. McIntyre takes out the team and sets up the announcer's table and walks into South of Heaven by Damian Priest through the table to end the show. Overall, this edition of Raw provided okay matches, with the focus being on the follow-ups through segments, hints, and potential directions leading into Clash at the Castle in June. This is AM Talks WWE. Thanks for tuning in.